Hey guys, TehJew22 here, and welcome back to another edition of TehJew22 Talks. Now, last time, and it's been the better part of a year since I last had a show, and I believe I did this very early during the shutdown, and that's pretty much the only word I will use to describe it, really. But my guest at that time was my good friend Elmeister, and we had a wonderful time talking about our friends and wrestling, especially with WWE and its new competitor, All Elite Wrestling, and it was a lot of fun to talk about. But my next guest is someone who I had been friends with for, I want to say, the best part of 5 years, maybe. I'll probably go with that. Um, he goes by many names. He among some of them are, "Yo, Adrian, I've done it." Other times I call him AC, and then other times he just goes by his full name, or sometimes we just call him Adrian. But my guest is the one and only. You can say your name.
Adrian Chamblee, how you doing?
Yeah, and the fact that actually is his real name, so I didn't want to really just outright say it. But anyway, but it's great to
It's
have
all good.
you, Mr. AC, on the show, and um, like, my gosh, I mean, there's a lot of things that we do have in common. One of them being that we are on the West Coast.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, we're West Coast guys, and you know, even though we may not be the best looking guys on the face of this earth. You know, we're working men. That's pretty much what we are. I mean, because we've worked our tails off to get to where we are, and honestly, it's not going to stop. It didn't stop then, and it's not going to stop now. But that's one of the
All
things
right.
I admire um, about Adrian, and that's what he is. He does what he does, and I appreciate him for that.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate you too.
Well, well, thank you very much for that. But um, I guess the first question that I always ask is, how did you get onto YouTube?
Well, that started. I've been wanting to say probably back in like 2008. I would say I used to see these gaming YouTube. That's some kind of gaming YouTube gaming kind of start. You see, remember Let's Plays when those first started up?
Yeah, I
So I seen
remember
a
those.
whole lot of those. Yeah, I used to do them myself, but like they kind of started up, and I wanted to give them a shot. I used to watch YouTubers like the one remember YouTuber named Spax, and there's another YouTuber named Samuel the Geek, and a couple of others. I can't remember off the top of my head. And
Those
of
are
course,
those.
there's always the AVGN, but they wasn't on YouTube at the time. He was on Screw Attack because I got kicked off of YouTube because of uh, copyright or something like that. I think,
Mm,
but couple of them I kind of want to like kind of get involved a little bit because like it looked like a fun thing to do, but I was super shy. I couldn't talk on camera. I was a I was just afraid to put myself out there like that. So for like the
mhm.
longest time I didn't do it. I just kind of like say, that's not for me. But then I believe it was 2011 when I started seeing a YouTuber by the name of Some Call Me Johnny. And I saw him. He
Mm.
started doing reviews and let's plays. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, this guy, like, he seems pretty cool, and he's doing his thing, and he's playing games like I've never played before. And I'm watching him play. I was like, wow, these games look pretty fun. Like, he's playing Mega Man, and he'll do, he had his Super Gamer Bros channel, his review channel, then he had Brain Scratch, and, you know, great reviewer. I never met the man in person, but if you ever hears this, you're awesome. But anyways,
No,
I started
I've
watching
heard
his stuff.
of. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of Some Call Me Johnny, and I've first heard about him through the Great Clement.
Yep. Here's another one too. That's this the other person too, the Great Clement. I was start watching him too, and it was those two, and it kind of like said, you know what, maybe I should really give this a shot. And then about 2012, I remember I got some recording equipment and I tried it out and tried to do a Sonic Let's Play, and it was disgusting. It was terrible, and I just kind of scrapped it.
Hmm.
And
Was
then
it
on my birthday,
okay?
what's that?
Oh,
Go ahead.
was it scrapped because you didn't think the voice work was good, or did you scrap it because the quality of the video or the audio or both were, in layman's terms, trash?
I mean the quality, like the video quality was good. The voice quality was okay, but was my commentary was terrible.
Mm. Yeah, that usually is a deal breaker for some people. I would know because
Yeah, my
I've been.
commentary was terrible. So I say, I'm a
Yeah. Go for it. Go for it. I'm sorry.
it, it was terrible. I'm sorry, that's okay. My commentary was terrible, so I scrapped it and I said, and I kind of just sat and just I wasn't doing much, and then like I started seeing streamers. Twitch started getting bigger at the time too, and I was like, maybe try this Twitch thing. And I didn't have the internet for it and everything. I tried streaming certain games. I just couldn't do it. My computer sucked at the time. I couldn't do it. So I got a little bit better computer, and I started streaming. And I would stream like older games like I handle it and whatever. But it wasn't really like working out for me. But I remember it was on my birthday. I saw I was sitting around. I was like, man, I should start giving Let's Plays one more try. And I remember Aladdin on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah, I do remember several LPers LPing that game.
Yeah. That's the first real Let's Play that I did. I sat down, I played the game once just to get used to it, and then I did a Let's Play of it. And it's actually still on my channel if you ever want to go check it out.
Oh,
It's
really?
yep. It's pretty cool, man. It was not the best video ever, but I actually like felt good doing it. I was like, okay, this isn't great, but I felt accomplished, And it kind of went from there. Then I did Sonic 1. Um and then I really started to like kind of like things a little bit more seriously when I did Resident Evil 1 on Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
I did that, and that's when I actually like kind of promoted my stuff a little bit. And I started getting more subscribers and whatnot. I did Resident Evil 1, I did Silent Hill, and then I started doing Disney month. In November, I do a bunch of Disney games.
Mm.
And it kind of just went from there. Then like December, I'll do like Mario and Sonic or whatever. And I just started doing that. But then like then I took a break because I kind of like, I don't know why. The best thing I can say is laziness and just being busy. And that's why I was so off and on with everything. And like, um, yeah,
Well,
that's kind of like how it started up. I've just been off and on lately, and I hate that I do that.
well, I know that inconsistency can, hurt a let's player or a streamer or whatnot. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to what's more important, your YouTube career or your own life. And as much as I love streaming, and you see me stream, and I enjoy
Oh
it
yeah,
for what I do it, but at the end of the day, I have to focus on me, and
yep,
and um, and it's also important to focus on your work too, because no one else is going to do it for you. It's just
And one
that.
thing that stopped me too from doing.
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
And I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I mean, work definitely comes first. But then, as you were saying, I'll mute.
Um, what stopped me though also was that I started getting involved in acting, and I wanted to like really focus on acting. So when I would do that, I did that, and that was a fun experience, and I still want to get back into it to this day. My ultimate goal in life is to act in Hollywood. Always, that's been my ultimate goal for a while now, and I just want to get back into that.
Absolutely.
And but I kind of stopped streaming a little bit. I'm doing Let's Play so I could really focus on like the scenes I had to do, because I was taking it seriously. I wasn't BSing around. And it paid off too, because people say, "Hey, Adrian, you're good, man. You should keep doing this stuff, man." And I want to, but this hold me back from acting is my freaking job.
Well, I mean,
Job gets in
that's.
the way of stuff I want to do.
Hmm.
What's that?
No, no. I mean, you practically
Yeah.
just hit it on the head. I mean, you like work. Like I it. At the end of the day, I mean, who's gonna put food on the table? I mean, you just have to focus on your work, and it's always good to have dreams. Um, and and I do hope at some point, if someone's out there listening to this, um, you have a guy that can you have a guy with a great voice and someone who is willing to put himself out there. Get Adrian Chamblee. I mean, that's to any Hollywood director or someone who's just looking for a voice actor, you have him right here.
Thank you. Appreciate that, man. Awesome.
Probably the most sales pitch. This is the most sales pitch I've ever done. So there you go.
Hey, I'll take it. I ain't tripping. Sure. Thank you.
No, I definitely wouldn't be tripping either. So it's like, it is what it is. Um, but yeah, work always does come first. And as much as, you know, some people have also given me a little bit of flack. And I'm pretty sure that you might have gotten it too sometimes, where people think that you're not taking your work seriously. And to those people, I say, well, if I wasn't taking it seriously, do you think that I would I mean, really, do you think that I would be able to showcase as many new games as I've had in the last 3, 4 years now? I wouldn't be able to. But I take my job very seriously, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not gonna lie though. There are times at work when I'm just like, man, I don't want to be here. I mean, it happens a lot with me. Sometimes I just don't want to be there. It's a struggle for me sometimes. It's like you're doing the same thing. I've been at my job for 15 years, and it's just um it's a grind. My job is a grind. It can really dwell on you, especially if it's something that you don't want to do in the future. I don't want to live the rest of my life doing the job I'm doing for a living, doing what I'm doing for a living. I mean, if you ask me, doing YouTube, streaming on Twitch, that's something I would love to do to earn money, because I'm able to be my own boss. I can
Hmm.
make my own schedule, and by making my own schedule, I'm able to start pursuing acting and whatnot. And who knows? I could get discovered on YouTube. You never know. But if I end up doing YouTube for the rest of my life, then shoot, okay. As long as I'm making a good living, there's a lot of YouTubers out there making a good living doing this, and some
Hmm.
people are struggling too. But you know what? I'm willing to take that risk.
Yeah.
I haven't taken a lot of risks in my life, and it's like, this is a risk I'm willing to take.
Yeah.
But
I
I
I
just got to be
just
smart about it.
yeah. No, no, I was about to say you got to be smart about that.
Hmm.
It's just,
Yeah, I just got to be.
the worst thing you can do is quit your job and then you regret it immediately, and that's the last thing I would want anybody to do. If or anyone that's watching this, just to do that. You have to have a plan. Obviously, you have to have a plan.
Exactly. Exactly. You have to have a plan. But
So
I'll tell you this though, man.
yeah,
Let me tell you this though real fast. If I get to a point where I'm making good money on YouTube and I don't need my job anymore, I'm out. Bye. See ya. Goodbye.
yeah. Because when I
Shoot.
last left my because when I left my last job, the least I did was and I left on good terms. I wanted to do that and just give them my 2 weeks notice, and I did. I fulfilled what they asked me to do those last 2 weeks. And was it tough? Of course it was, because I knew that I knew that at some point I was gonna have to um, well, I mean, I ended up getting a new job, which is the current job I still have, thank goodness. And but to get there, yeah, I had to just, and even before that, it was kind of like working like a dog, really. But I just knew that I just had to go through it, and I made it. And I'm hoping that at some point that you make it, and that whatever you end up doing will make you happy in the long run. And that's really what it's about, really.
Thank you, man. Appreciate that, man. Much appreciated.
Hmm.
We'll both make it, man. We both have the tools and we have the talent to make it. Just sometimes it takes time, and you just gotta. It takes patience, time and patience, but just and never giving up.
Absolutely. And I mean, I guess you could say that it's just the two of us. We can make it if we try. I love that song.
Nice.
Just the two of
Nice.
us, you and
Mhm.
I love that
Mhm.
song. Like, I mean, even though Will Smith introduced it to me, I just loved the OG version that Bill Withers did.
Yeah, I like that one better too. The Will Smith one was fine, but the OG one, man. But
Well,
man, I miss Will Smith in the '90s though in general. Man,
I know I miss
that's the
getting
Will
jiggy
Smith
with it.
I
You know
grew up
what I
with.
mean?
Oh yeah, I miss the Fresh Prince getting jiggy with it, shooting aliens. On two different occasions at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Independence Day and Men in Black. I mean,
Hmm.
dang. Shoot. And you know what? I'm gonna say this. Wild Wild West is not that bad. I kind of like it a little bit. I mean, it's not the greatest movie ever, but I chuckled. I lolled a few times. It is what it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, that was kind of considered the low point of the stuff that he did in the '90s. But yeah, without doubt, I mean that. I don't know what else to say about Will Smith that hasn't been said, because you know, like, he was the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. I mean,
Mm,
he was born in West Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playground is
yep.
where he spent most of his days.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, but
That's right.
I just love that show. Fresh Prince of Bel Air was
That's a
just,
great show, man.
oh man.
It's on HBO Max. If you have HBO Max, it's on there. You can watch it anytime.
Mm. Well, I mean, I know I do have Roku, which for those who don't know, I mean, Roku just gives you the ability to stream on your television. Um, you just have to get.
Right.
It's important for those who want to do this. Get yourself a television that was made in 2014 or later, because if you get an earlier version, it's not going to work. You need HDMI ports, and without those, then you wouldn't be able to do it. So, little tip there.
I actually need to get me a new TV myself. I was going through my TV and it's a 42-inch 3D TV. It's like, I mean, you can't find 3D TVs anymore, and I have 3D movies, and I like that. I like that stuff, but it's like I got the new consoles now. It's like 4K and all this. It's like, yeah, I need a new TV, and the remote won't work anymore either.
Interesting. Because,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, obviously, if your TV doesn't work, then it will not work. I will say that. So,
Oh yeah, man.
excuse me. I mean, wait a minute. You said
It's
you
okay.
talked about well, okay, so that's how you got into YouTube. I'm trying to
hmm
resist the temptation on my end to get ahead of myself, but so that's how you got onto YouTube. But I'm trying to remember how we got together.
Oh, that was simple. I remember that. It was in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
I was doing a let's play of whatchamacallit.
Oh, Super Mario 64. I remember that.
Was it that? I think I was doing something else before. I was doing Twilight Prince. I was doing a Skyward Sword,
Oh yeah.
and I don't know if you met me on there. I was doing that, and I started meeting new people, and then I think I jumped on the Mario 64 too to hurry up and finish that. I think that's probably did start really jumping on with Mario 64 because I was like kind of like trying to finish that up before I because I wanted to like kind of get on to doing Galaxy, which I never did. But now that streaming is popular, I'll just stream it eventually. But I think you're right. I think it was Mario 64.
Hmm. Okay, let me make sure. I'm just adjusting my input sensitivity a little bit. On my end, that
hmm
is. There we go. But yeah, I do remember. I was introduced through someone else. Um, I believe. And correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't it Tanuki Teddy or was it uh, Miss Via Vanille? Because I remember it was one of those two that introduced you or introduced me, excuse me, to you.
It was her, and I met both of you guys through her actually. That's
That's
where I
kind of what I
started
thought.
finding both of you guys. Yeah, it was through her. I met her first, and then I met both of you guys afterwards. Um,
Oh, of course.
and whatever happened to Teddy? Is he doing okay?
Well, you know what? I guess we can. You know what? I might just make us talking about Teddy really its own part. If well, I mean, it really should be its own part because Teddy is just. So I'll tell you what, guys. We will stop here for part one, and in part two we will talk a lot more about Teddy. So stay tuned, and we'll be back.